Welcome back to Saravji's Hut. This week, in evaluating Google Cloud Professional Machine Learning Engineer certification, week 9, I'm going to be reporting on the progress that I made, some observations that I have in regards to the materials, and I earned another badge. Welcome back to my hut. I'm going by the name Saravji. This week I'm going to be talking about certification, Google Cloud Professional Machine Learning Engineer, week 9. I'm going to be going over the progress that I made, some observations that I have in regards to the materials, how they are built up, and I have earned a new badge. Now let's dive in. This week I made decent progress. I could finish another course which required going through several large-ish labs. Speaking of this, I noticed a small change that appears to be happening on Google Cloud. On these labs where you are required to have the Vertex AI API enabled, another API is coming up and asks to be enabled, the Notebook API. It also notes on there that there's a small cost involved with this. Being on the Quick Labs accounts here, I simply enabled it, and so far it has been working. I didn't get any feedback to that regard, so simply going with it in this way. Overall, progress is steady. Let's see what is happening next week. A couple observations that I have in regards to the materials. So the materials, the labs and the materials, how they are actually built up, is a lot of concepts are being introduced by mentioning them, and then a reference is being made that they're going to be explained a little bit in the future. So far I have not seen many of these concepts actually being explained further in the future, so that is a little bit disturbing, I would say. I'm missing here the work to actually go through the foundations of what everything is being based on here. So far the materials are a lot of going through motions, going through exercises and just going step by step, but not really actually understanding the work, actually doing the work, actually doing hands-on here. This is also reflected actually in the labs. So the labs are a very straight line from A to B. There is no experimentation, there is no trying out, there is no actually applying any knowledge really happening. It is pretty straightforward. Most of the labs, it's hard to actually solve them correctly without looking at the solution. So you're kind of dependent on at least claiming at the solution to understand what is actually expected at an individual to-dos in the labs. As a ML engineer, that function entails, by definition, by common definition, I would say, that an ML engineer gets an experiment or a proof of concept handed over from a data scientist. So there is some form of code that somehow works. And an ML engineer then actually needs to take this and put it into a production-ready form. So translate it from this proof of concept, from this experimentation, into a production-ready form. So far, and I'm close to halfway done through all the materials, there has been never anything to that respect. Also, I am noting with the quizzes that are being in these materials, they are extremely focused on selling Google Cloud products. If there is quiz questions in there, one hot encoding needs to be done that you can present categorical data to neural nets. One hot encoding needs to be done to present it to machine learning algorithms, not only neural nets. So this is extremely loop-sided, the teaching materials here. Also, a lot of course questions are actually asking not in general terms for machine learning engineering, but machine learning engineering on Google Cloud, very particular. And questions kind of make it sound that only Google Cloud actually offers these kinds of capabilities and methods. And we are talking about general feature engineering examples, having just done the feature engineering badge, so that is fresh in memory. And this is very loop-sided and inaccurate. So these materials, how they're actually being presented, are not very friendly to be able to transfer the knowledge to be transferred to somewhere else. That is a little bit disappointing, I would say. Like already mentioned, I got another badge for having completed another course. In this case it was feature engineering. It is relatively interesting, the materials in there, the concepts that are available on Google Cloud, and what the Google engineers put together there. So I don't have any reservation in regards to Google Cloud. My reservations are towards the materials for this course, for the teaching materials. So I think they could be much better. This concludes this week's summary of my week 9 going through the certification towards a Google Cloud Professional Machine Learning Engineer. I hope to see you back next week. Please don't forget to subscribe. This helps the channel grow. Like it and share it with your network. This all helps the channel grow and keep it possible for me to put together these kinds of materials. Thanks for visiting me at my hut. See you next week. Take care. I appreciate you dropping by. Please subscribe. I'm done here. Fire to that.